Hey, what's up, everybody? JL Farron here with the God Made Millionaire Inner Circle. And in this video, I want to be able to show you the fastest way to write a book. Now, a couple weeks ago, TC Bradley actually made a video where he revealed to you 3 steps that you can follow on the fastest way to write a book. So, what I like to do is I like to be able to walk you through those 3 steps, step by step, and show you exactly how to get that done. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people get caught up in the little semantics of, oh, I'm not tech savvy, I'm not sure how to do this or how to do that, or they get stuck at a point where they can't push any further and they'll start making excuses about why they can't get that book written. And some people will put those books on the shelves, right, and leave it there for years, or they'll leave it here in their head for years and they'll never put it down in writing and they'll never get it published. Okay, so what we did, what TC did was he actually made a video where he revealed 3 steps that you can follow in order to be able to get your book written. Okay. And he didn't really walk you through it step by step. So that's what I'm going to do for those of you that are in the inner circle. I want to walk you through it step by step. Before I do, maybe you haven't seen the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick replay of TC's video where he reveals to you those 3 steps. And then at the end of that video, I'm going to come with a part 2 and be able to show you exactly how to get that done, how to walk through those steps, because the reality is that your voice needs to be heard, your story needs to be told, and you do that in the form of a book, right? We help people publish books all the time, and we make them #1 bestsellers. And the reason we do that is because we want to be able to get it out in the marketplace so that people can get their hands on it and get the valuable information, valuable insight and advice that authors that come through us are able to offer. All right, so again, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to watch TC's video that he recorded a couple weeks ago for you guys. And for those of you that have missed it, you'll now be able to watch it, write down the 3 steps, and then we'll come back to it at the end, and I'll be able to walk you through step by step actually how to get it done. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
Hey, good evening, everybody. TC Bradley checking in on a Monday night, a chilly night here on Planet Bradley. Wanted to stop in. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live video, and I want to talk a little bit about publishing, writing your book, and publishing your book. A lot of people don't. They see our television show, our nationally syndicated television show, and they forget the fact that I operate and own one of the most successful publishing companies for faith-based entrepreneurs, for really entrepreneurs in the marketplace today. Because not only do we publish books, but we also take those published authors and put them on our media properties, including our nationally syndicated television show. And I have other properties on Fox TV and a nationally syndicated segment that is syndicated in all the top markets across the country. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. And I'm talking legitimately putting people on television, not with press releases. But I want to talk to you tonight because this month we're getting set to release, we're talking 5 books. 5 books that we're bringing to the marketplace. Incredible books that we are honored to publish. And I'm having conversations with some of the people, some of these authors that have written the book. And I've given them some coaching on how to do this, how to actually write that book and publish the book. Here's the thing. My entire life changed when I wrote and published my first business book, Supernatural Success, Spiritual Laws I Use to Generate over $1 million in Sales and Beat Oprah in Website Traffic. If you don't have this book, you need to get this book. But my entire life changed when I wrote this book. It's an interesting story in that the story behind writing the book before I give you the tips on how to do this quickly. I'm talking about how to write your book and publish your book within 45 days. 45 days. When I received the assignment to write this book, the first thing that I did is I had the cover made for the book. I came up with the title, then I had the cover made. And I remember I put it out on social media. I said, my long-awaited business book is going to be published in 45 days. Well, people, just from the cover of the book, they started going crazy for this book. They wanted to know when they could get the book. They wanted to know how they could order the book. When was it going to be ready? People wanted this book. Problem was, I didn't write the book yet. That was the challenge. So I thought to myself, I better write this book. Because here's the thing. You put it out on social media, like Ralph Crandom, I had a big mouth. I was like, hey, it's coming. And it's coming within 45 days. I had set this time limit up to hold myself accountable to that date. And when people responded so nicely to the book, then I knew I had to write the book. And so it came time to publish this book 45 days later, and I had the little fat man up on my shoulder whispering in my ear, do you really want to publish that book on supernatural success? Do you really want to put yourself out there and publish that book? The little fat man had a point, right? Did I really want to do that? Because you are putting yourself out there into the marketplace. You are putting yourself out there in a big way when you become a published author. But I knew I was called to publish this book. And so we went ahead and I published the book. Within 45 days of publishing this book, within 45 days of publishing the book, I signed to appear on my first nationally syndicated television show, which now has led to my own nationally syndicated television show. None of that would have happened if I didn't publish this book. And it's been very well received. We had one person, a very dear friend of mine who passed away now, but he was in the seminar promotion business. Within 45 days of reading this book, he generated over $300,000 cash into his business account. It's a true story. Had another lady that her dad saw me on television, and he bought her this book for her birthday gift in December, and within reading the first 3 chapters, she generated over $10,000 cash. Just reading the first 3 chapters. The book has been phenomenal. I wouldn't have a nationally syndicated television show if I didn't write this book. If I didn't write the book. And so I want to talk to you about how to do that, right? How do you get that idea, that thought that you have, that book that's inside of you? Some of you have had a book inside of you for years. But I'm going to tell you how I did it and how I teach my clients to do it. First things first is you got to have a God Made Millionaire shirt. You see that? See that bad boy? That is our officially trademarked God Made Millionaire shirt. Every word that was written in this book was written wearing a God Made Millionaire shirt. I still believe that thou shalt decree a thing and it shall come to pass. My next book, God Made Millionaire, you're one instruction away from your God-given dream becoming reality. Every word was written wearing my God Made Millionaire shirt. So that's first things first. You got to get a God Made Millionaire shirt. You want that anointing on you, right? You want to represent and get your God Made Millionaire shirt. You can go at godmademillionaire.com and we have our swag up there, different colors of shirts. But I came equipped, ready to go. So that's the first thing. Now, 99% of your book is going to be done if you do this one thing. The first thing that you need to do to write your book is you need to come up with your chapter titles. Your chapter titles. You come up with these chapter titles first. If you'll come up with your chapter titles first, you've got 99% of your book completed. Seriously. Most people, the mistake that they make is that they'll sit at their computer, and they go, chapter 1, and they get brain fog. They don't know what to write. And then you think, well, if I get chapter 1 done, what am I going to say in chapter 2? The key to this, and we're publishing a book tomorrow. I just had this talk with her this afternoon. She said, TC, when you told me that, she said, I didn't believe you. She said, I just told a friend of mine, an attorney friend of mine, that I wrote my book and getting ready to publish it within a 45-day window. And her friend said, no, that's not right. It should take you a lot longer than that. She said, I didn't believe you when you told me that initially, until she did it. Because see, what happens is if you can get the chapter titles done, like here, Where's My Harvest, Chapter 1. I can talk about that. Title, the contents of that, very quickly. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about the stories behind that title at all. Chapter 6, Words of Iron. I can talk about that all day long. I don't need to have to think about it. That's your key, folks, is you've got to come up with your chapter titles first. If you'll come up with 7 to 8 chapter titles, 99% of your book is done. Because here's what will happen. You start writing and you can skip around on those chapter titles. You don't have to stick from chapter 1, chapter 2, write chapter 3. You don't have to be in sequential order. You can go as you're inspired to go in those chapters. But if you come up with those chapter titles, you've got 99% of your book done. You got 99% of it done. I promise you. So get your God Made Millionaire shirt. Get that. Get it. Wear the gear. Makes a big difference. The other thing I wanted to point out to you is those of you that don't like to write and sit at a computer and write a book, you can get your phone, and there's an app that you can get on your phone called REV. R-E-V. Rev. I'm looking for it on mine. Now if I have it here, right here, you'll see, let me see. It's right there. The Rev. R-E-V Recorder. Now, you press that you can download it out of the store, and what you can do is you record on your phone. So you can record yourself talking about those chapter titles and that content. And then you can click a button and Rev will transcribe that audio for you for pennies per word. It's incredibly, insanely affordable. Then what they can do is they can email you the document and then you can get in there and edit it. You'll have something to work with. But that is a secret. That is how some of my top business leaders have written a book in less than 3 hours. In less than 3 hours. Because they had their chapter titles, they had their bullet points under those chapter titles, they got on the phone with REV, they recorded themselves, had it transcribed, and then had those transcriptions sent to them, and then they can just edit them. It becomes an edit job at that point in time. Literally, 3 hours, you can get that done and have a book written that you didn't actually write. You didn't actually write that book. So, it's interesting, and I will say this to you. If you're watching this and you're at this point in the Facebook Live, I will say this to you, is that the reason you're here so far is that you feel a calling to write that book. To write that book. And I will say this to you, is that you can't do it halfway. You have to be all chips in writing your book. It's not something that you pick up and you start writing on it one day and then 2 weeks later you pick it back up again. You've got to be consistent from start to finish, because what will happen is when you start writing, God begins to download into you ideas and concepts and precepts into that book. You'll go to bed thinking about it. You'll wake up thinking about it. When you choose the pathway that I'm putting you on and you go down this route, what you're going to find is you're not going to be able to rest until you get it done. Until you get the book done. You have to stay with it from start to finish. It consumes you. It really does. Because you start working on it, and then you're taking a shower, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot this story, or I could say this in that chapter. So, and do you know where you get your $1 million ideas? The majority of people get their $1 million ideas around water. Water has creative properties to it. How many times have you taken a shower, taken a bath, been in the swimming pool, sitting by the water, and it's like you get clarity and you get this like a download from heaven. Water has creative properties to it. Water has creative properties to it. And so don't be shocked when you're in that water, you're taking a shower, and then you get downloads. Oh, I got to add this, or I forgot this in a chapter. I could add this into a chapter. So there's no one that's watching this right now that you couldn't write your book within 45 days. Now, I will tell you that what's interesting, and I'm going to wrap up here. I have another call I've got to get to. But what's interesting is this is my first business book, Supernatural Success. God Made Millionaire. I wrote this before I had the nationally syndicated show. The book that I was going to write is called Supernatural Prosperity. Supernatural Prosperity. God changed it up at the last minute and said, write this book. This is before I had a nationally syndicated show called God Made Millionaire TV. So go figure that out, right? So Supernatural Prosperity, I'm going to write this book. I like to write at least one book a year. I like to publish at least one book a year. I've not done it for 2 years now because I've been kind of busy with a nationally syndicated television show. But I feel that it's time that I finally get in and I write Supernatural Prosperity for God's people and get that published into the marketplace within the next 45 days. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, I've got my gear. already in place. I got my God Made Millionaire shirt ready to go. I'll suit up and I'll do my chapter titles first. I've already got them. And then it's just a matter of sitting down and fleshing out those chapter titles with content that I already know. And I will say this, you don't have to start with the book title at first. A lot of my books, I've not started with the book title. A lot of my clients, that's right, Billy. A lot of my clients will not have a book title to start when they start writing their book. For me, it's like God messes with me because he doesn't give me the book title until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be ready for bed, just done taking a shower or taking a bath, and then drops in my spirit. Bam! There's the book title. So you don't necessarily need that book title. Now, I will say this. If God has called you to write and publish a book, you want to reach out to me. If you're looking to have our company go ahead and publish that book for you, there's incredible advantages to this. There's incredible advantages to have my company publish your book. Number one, I don't keep all your royalties. I don't keep any of your royalties. Number two, I know what I'm doing when it comes to this space, and I can have a battle plan in mind for actual TV appearances, whether it's on our show or one of my Fox syndicated shows that we have. I have a segment on Fox 4 News. So a lot of times I'll bring my authors on Fox 4 News on my Business Leader Spotlight segment that I have. I also have that segment, as I said earlier, in a national show that is a secular show. It's not a faith-based network, but it's aired in like 180 TV markets across the country, including ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. So a lot of times PR people, what they'll do is they'll sell you a press release, and you see people do this. They'll pay for a press release that is featured on the websites of ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, but they're not actually television appearances. My stuff is actually television appearances. And so if you're being called to write this book, we're publishing 5 books. 5 books just this month. Top shelf books. Billy Dyson is on I should call him Showtime Billy Dyson. Just his whole life has changed. We were talking before the call. His entire life has changed after he published his book. And he'll tell you he was kicking and screaming, man. He's kicking and screaming because I'm a tough guy when it comes to this stuff. Melissa, what you want to do, shoot me over a private message. I'll get you over the link to the site. Okay? But Billy had his entire life change. We were talking about it tonight. I love Billy Dyson. His entire life changed. He's actually going to be on my nationally syndicated television show, God Made Millionaire. He's Showtime, baby. He is Showtime. And it would never have happened if he didn't write his book. Now, he did it the way that I taught you to do it tonight. He did it the way that I told you to do it tonight. Billy's a man's man. He's not going to sit at the computer and type out a Word document. But he did do his 8 chapter titles, and then he got the REV app on his phone, and then he went ahead and recorded himself talking about those chapter titles, had it transcribed, just about lost his salvation dealing getting those transcripts back. But his book debuted on the bestseller list. Just incredible what God is doing in his life and through his life, all because he's obedient. Listen to me, obedient in doing what God called him to do. Those of you that are watching this, if you're watching it live, and do me a solid and share this on your Facebook. Heart up if you like the content, because I'm giving you life-changing content. Giving you life-changing content, whether you publish with me or not. But share this video. If you are somebody that you've got your hand raised up in the air, go, TC, you're talking to me. It's time. It is time. God has told me to do it. I'm your Huckleberry. I am your Huckleberry. If you're watching this on replay, let me know that you've seen this on replay. I've got to go grab another call. I bless you guys. I hope you found value in this little mini training tonight. Okay? Don't forget, suit up, baby. You're going to do it. There's not a book that I would write that God has told me to write that I would ever write without wearing my God-made millionaire shirt. You got to get your gear. Got to get your gear. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've done. Look at the fruit of the labor. Look at the fruit that has come out of this. So I'm just telling you, for me, you don't listen. You can wear whatever you want to wear. I ain't gonna wear no Gucci shirt. Right, doing what God has called me to do. I'm gonna wear a God-made millionaire shirt, baby, because it's true. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. All right, you guys have a great night. God bless you.
All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the video where TC shared with you the fastest way to write a book. He gave you 3 steps, right? Hope you wrote them down, but even if you didn't write them down, guess what? We're about to go through them, okay? I'm going to be able to walk you through step by step everything that TC talked in the video. Now you'll be able to visualize it and you'll be able to see how you can implement it and really how simple it is, okay? I'm going to keep this nice and simple, all right? So let's go ahead and get started.
Hey everybody, TC Bradley, host of God Made Millionaire TV, and I was thinking the other day of how my life was profoundly impacted and changed for the better when I published my first book, Supernatural Success. Within 45 days of publishing that book, I signed a major TV deal to feature and promote my book on that TV show. After that, I published another book, got invited back to another TV show. If you're watching this video, listen. You've been given a God-given dream to publish a book. He's given you an assignment to do, and like me, you want to try to talk yourself out of it. I didn't talk myself out of it, and my life was profoundly changed. I want to help you publish your book. If you've been given a God-given dream, an assignment to publish your book, well, we have a publishing company designed specifically from A to Z to handle all of those details for you. All you need to do right now at this point is set an appointment up with our publishing company so that we can talk to you about bringing your book to the marketplace and your voice to the nations on our show, God Made Millionaire TV, as a published author.